I wonder if Communist China has actually beaten us, though. You know, cowed us with all those trade bans that is only lifting now the Labor's in power. You see the Albanese government being more careful now not to upset the dictatorship, but far worse is Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews, who's now on a secretive trip to China, refusing to bring journalists with him or say much about the officials' meeting, who include, by the way, 2 secretaries of the Communist Party in 2 provinces. Now, Andrews is also refusing to say anything publicly about human rights while he's in China. In particular, the fact that 2 fellow Australians of ours have been locked up in jail in China on fake charges of spying. Journalist Cheng Lei, who hasn't spoken to her children in Melbourne in all that time, and writer Yang Hengjun. Former Minister Penny Wong, she has fought for these 2 Australians, but Daniel Andrews won't. And it's not alone, by the way. Billionaire Andrew Forrest, who sells iron ore to China, is in China to meet the new China's premier. He's a huge suck-up to China. And he was asked, could you at least put in a good word for the Australians? He said, no, I have no issue whatsoever advocating their cases, but I will not be talking about it. He could, but he won't. And he doesn't even have the guts to say he's scared of the dictatorship, losing a bit of money. Joining me is someone who has fought for 2 years for justice for her former colleague, Cheng Lei. It's Sky News US correspondent Annelise Nielsen. Annelise, you must be so disappointed by this silence.
Look, there's a few reasons why this trip and how it's been handled is so disappointing. One, the fact that no journalists have been allowed to go along. There's zero accountability in that. And frankly, there haven't been any questions answered about whether it's even safe for journalists to go with. We have Cheng Lei in detention. We've had 2 Australian journalists forced to flee China, and we're still not sure about the circumstances of that. So for Daniel Andrews to be going to China without any journalists, without any assurance that journalism is safe to go with a premier, leaves so many questions that he doesn't seem interested in answering. But the main issue with how this has been conducted is he has her children as his constituents. He should be answering to them about what he's doing as their elected representative in China, and he's completely disinterested. To fob it off and to say, well, I mean, there's a number of people in detention in China, that's not my problem. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem for the relationship between Australia and China, that you've got too many people in detention to keep track of, and that she's not a priority. And so this is why he's getting so much criticism, and I know there haven't been answers because he's got no media with him, which is not forgivable.